G'day, mate. 40 here. So, in the 1960s, there was a saying, don't trust anyone over 30. So, there was this youth revolution, and goodness and wisdom was supposed to reside with the youth. And they wanted the power to completely remake their own educational systems, to completely remake their own curriculum at university, to completely remake society. And obviously that was foolishness. Now, it makes me think the kind of the opposite, that when it comes to questions of wisdom, questions of politics, questions of deeper significance, don't trust anyone over 25. Car rental companies won't rent a car to anyone under the age of 25. Why? Because the prefrontal cortex, right, that self-regulating mechanism, doesn't really come online properly until we're 25. So you'll notice with people in their teens and early 20s have exuberant and exorbitant belief in themselves, like above and beyond all evidence. That teens and early 20s, they have these delusions they're going to change the world, that they have all sorts of talents and abilities that they don't have to the degree that they think they have, that they are confident that everything's going to go great for them. And it's only until about age 25 that this prefrontal cortex really comes online and people get a stronger sense of reality. So people tend to sober up by their late 20s, right? People don't tend to have the same delusions that they've carried through their teens and into their early 20s. And so I've been live streaming here on YouTube since 2015. And I think since 2017, people have been talking about Nick Fuentes, this amazing political commentator. And my reaction always was, I'm not going to seek political wisdom from some 17, 18-year-old kid. Now, 18-year-old kids, 22-year-old kids can provide high entertainment value, and people like Nick Fuentes and James Alsop and Ken Brown, Deep Left Jerkle, I mean, these guys can provide entertainment value. And so occasionally I've checked them out for the entertainment value. Now, what's happened is that they've amassed a substantial following because they are entertaining, but they've misunderstood that as confirmation of their deep life wisdom. And so with Ken Brown in particular, he's got this delusion that all these people are asking him for life advice. And whenever he talks about what other people are saying to him, at least in his latest video, doesn't correspond to reality. Nobody is saying to him any of the things that he alleges in this video. And what makes young people in their late teens, early 20s particularly wacky is when they don't have a community, when they don't have friends to bounce things off. So when you listen to Ken Brown or Nick Fuentes or even Richard Spencer, you notice that friendship doesn't seem to play a significant role in their lives, that there's no community. Like Nick doesn't go to church. I suspect that Ken Brown doesn't go to church, that there's not a community that keeps an eye on them. So for me, I could never get away with saying many of the things that Ken and Nick and Richard have said, because I've got friends in a community who would call me up and say, what the hell, 40? Have you lost your mind? That's completely deranged. I mean, I couldn't go into shul, right? If I was saying crazy things on here, I couldn't then go into shul and see people face to face. I couldn't walk down the street. When I run into people on the street who watch my show, right, they either have no reaction, mild reaction, or gratitude and respect, because I'm not saying these crazy things such as what Ken Brown's saying in his latest video, that if you don't agree with me, you're mentally ill. If you don't share my certain metaphysical certitudes, that there's something wrong with you. That just shows that you are narcissistic and solipsistic. If you don't share my particular theology, there's something wrong with you. So there's a lack of balance, like in people under 25. they seize on, some idea that they have chanced upon, and then pursue it to some absurd ends without any greater sense of context, right? We should live within a constellation of values. Like truth is a value, but also being pro-social is a value, and preserving relationships is a value, and laughter is a value, but also preserving life and minimizing harm is a value, and justice is a value, but also trying to increase tranquility and peace is a value. And these values are constantly clashing. And so what you see with people under 25 is they'll choose one or two good values and then just pursue them to an absurd degree without respect to other values in a normal constellation.